you have to ask yourself, what do you want out of your defenders? Do you want them to defend the goal, or do you want them as an attacking outfit?
That was
Because
Kyle.
going forward, he's very, very good. He seems to be involved. He seems to be more involved on the left-hand side than he does on the right-hand side, considering he's a natural right footer. But when you look at him on the left-hand side, he looks very, he's very good. He's involved in everything. And again, he's taken on board that role with the under-21s. He's playing on the left-hand side. So, Carsley's seen something while he's been filling in for Hall that he's given him the international under-21 cap to play on that left-hand side. But like I said, my concern with Tino Livramento is, what do you want out of your defenders? Do you want them to defend your goal, or do you want them to attack? Because he doesn't defend very well.
Do you not rate him as a defender?
I don't know.
Okay. I don't either, quite honestly.
I
think he needs to work.
Defender.
So,
do you think you could learn that, Gary?
I think, listen, I played left back most of my career, and it's one of those positions where I tried it up, being natural left-footed. I was on the left wing when I was a kid. The older I got, the fatter I got, and the slower I got. It was left back in the changing room at the end. But for me, it's a case of you're never born to defend. You've either got an eye for it. Now, I wasn't a clever player. I was just a dirty bastard. I used to just take them out. If they beat me once, they wouldn't beat me twice. And that's just the way I played. But, I look at the way players position, and when I saw the Czech goal the other day, it was, Tino pointed his finger to the player to get onto him, but then they overloaded the box. So that become Tino's guy, player. And he just stands off him. He doesn't make any attempt to get in front of the player. Now, a natural instinct for a defender to do is to do that. That's why I've always said I think Tino Livramento is a wing back rather than a full back. So, because Philip, I think he plays more of the attacking role.
You wanted to say something?
No, I just remembered, because that's like when you said Tino, I was thinking of Carl Walker, but I think you were talking about another goal. Gary. Yeah. So so I realised I got that one wrong. But okay. I think, look, I think he's an exceptional talent. I think we're building an exceptional back line. Hopefully, a future England back line with Trafford, Guehi, Byrne, Hall, Livramento. And in today's kind of modern game, as you call it, it's hard to get a more well-rounded fullbacks. The bar is like your Ashley Coles, really. It doesn't mean that Livramento shouldn't improve. Of course, he should. But the way kind of our formation is a bit sloped. So, for instance, I think Tino looked a lot more better playing the left because Mr. Joe Linton is always there to kind of help provide that cover, and hence why I personally think Eddie Howe's really trying to do a double pivot, so you can allow the two fullbacks to go on ahead, and if we are caught in transition as it is, you go to two pivots to being able to cover those sides of the ball. So, but he's young, and there are things to work on. I remember that the first game against Bournemouth we played, we conceded him literally doing saying what Gary did, which is a defender going ahead of him not kind of going in front of him and kind of losing his marker there. But he has improved defensively. I do think he has improved defensively. His main attribute is offensively, and sometimes I think Eddie Howe's you're gonna have to kind of give and take a little bit there. I think he will improve though, and so I think it's definitely important that we keep him.
Okay. Talking about the defense quickly, the last subject is that we were facing competition. Arsenal now facing involved with Mark Guehi, trying to sign him, and there's another team here that I'm going to look according to the Northern Echo. But what should we do with Mark Guehi? I mean, he seems to be the center back of England at the moment, and it's not Dan Burn, mighty way, no matter how many times you say it. It is Mark Guehi. And the rest, when it comes to that, 70 million pound was what they didn't want to take last season. So what do we do? Do we let him go? I don't know. I don't know about that, man. I think we got too many bets on this one. We might as well ride it out. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think there's better ball playing. I mean, again, I ain't one. I like to watch players. But if you look at stats, I would go back to Brighton, and the only player I would get from Brighton, and that ain't Joe Pedro, that's Van Hecker.
Van Hecker.
Oh, I thought you said
Interesting.
Tarek.
Chelsea is the one in for. It looks like for Mike Gay. So right now we will see, Mighty Win, whether London has a pull over Newcastle. And by the way, it's Chelsea, and it's also Arsenal. So let's see if we can if Fulham can beat us for Mark Gay. I doubt it. But Tim, let me go with you as I rudely interrupt your sip there of your drink. So
Guinness.
what do you think? Oh, you Guinness. Oh my goodness.
Good man.
Yeah, that's good. All right, man. What do you think about Mark Guehi? Should we stay strong for him, or just part ways?
I'm kind of thinking we need to cut the chase maybe with this one, as opposed to last summer where we say to Palace, this is our figure, year on year, and I think surely we've had contact with Guehi where he's given indications that he wants to come, otherwise why time? So maybe you can say to Guehi, look, you've got a year left in your contract. Tell Palace you're not going to sign a new contract if you don't. You want to go into the club in the summer, whether it's Newcastle or elsewhere, and try and force Palace's hand. I just don't want it to drag out. I like him. I think he's a good player. I think, again, going back to kind of combinations, we've got Cher, who's in his 30s, 33, and then Guehi, like 24, 25. So I think it's a nice balance there between them two for that particular position. Yeah. He's got the pace, so we need that pace. So I can see why we want him. I just don't want it to drag out. Maybe it will. Maybe it will because it needs to happen because that's who Eddie Howe wants. And maybe Palace will kind of relent because they have to as well because he's got a year left in his contract. But we'll see.
Yeah, you got a good point. It looks like, the one thing that we got in our favor, though, DX, is that I don't know who Chelsea got for center backs. Who they got for center backs? I can't think of the top of my head.
How many do you want?
Yeah, what I mean, proper ones. Who's actually playing?
Whatever his name is.
I know that Arsenal actually got some deadly center backs.
Yeah, they've got Saliba.
Real Madrid are coming in for one of them.
So he'd be going to be a bench player if they don't lose one of those.
He'd be first.
He knows that with Newcastle, with a moral, prudent, and moral, sober, and prudent manager, he would play regardless of Burns Burn being an idol of Wayne. It really wouldn't matter. He would be playing anyway. So, what do you think?
Shaw will still get games next season, but I think that they'll be the first choice, won't they, if they're fit, Guehi and Botman, you'd think. So, but yeah, I would.
Don't know about Botman, but certainly win. I mean, Guehi.
Well, I think Botman deserves to start if he's fit. But yeah, I think he'd be a good signing if the price is right. He's got less than a year left on his contract. They can't be demanding 70, 80 million now. So, I mean, if so, don't go near it. Don't go near him. I would say.
Maybe if Chelsea get Guehi, we'll get Adebayo.
Oh God!
Adebayo.
We wanted him last summer, didn't we?
And he went to Chelsea. He went to Chelsea.
Yeah,
he sat on the bench. What? I don't know what he's on, but I think it was over 200.
That's just spoiled for choice at the minute. They've got Colwell, Chalobah, Fafana, Badashil, Adebayo, Vega, and Anselmino.
So why do they need this?
Hey, that's Anselmino. I know him. The South American guy. Phil, last word on Guehi. What do you think?
Look, I think the fact that he lifted the FA Cup in Crystal Palace's first 100-year history, it proves Eddie Howe's point why we chased him in the first place last season. And we've established a good relationship. We've proven to him that we definitely want him. I don't know how deeply and what groundwork Chelsea have made. The attraction will be Chelsea's his old club, but he will know that he's definitely wanted at Newcastle. He knows that we are definitely building something here. We're in the Champions League, as is Chelsea, but we're in the Champions League. But he'll know that the manager at Newcastle, obviously Eddie Howe, really wants him, and the sporting directors definitely want him.
Sorry.
No, go on. I was just going to say, so if he's definitely a wanted player for us, he has every opportunity to continue to grow, to continue to go to the World Cup of England as well. As many players at Newcastle can testify, if you play for Newcastle, you end up going and playing for your international team. So, yeah.
Right. And that was my question because, mean, you're quickly and in a hurry. Newcastle United is filling up with proper internationals.
Yes.
I mean, Mark Guehi, who let's put it out there real quick. I mean, who's better than Mark Guehi as far as English internationals are concerned?
Within the England team.
What centre backs?
Yeah, I mean, as far as in the England team, who's better than him as a center back? Don't forget to smash the like button. It helps us a lot to keep growing. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, activate all notifications, that way you get notified every time we go live. And don't forget, you can become a member, get exclusive content, access to all of our live shows on demand at the time that you want. And also, of course, giveaways every month, sometimes multiple giveaways a month. So stay tuned for that, check it out, help support the channel. It's a small fee, and of course, you help us and grow. If you hate the Mackhams, smash that like button.
To save the bleeding races. When we got the wheel put on, away we went again. But them that had their noses broke, they came back our him. Some went to the dispensary, and some to Dr. Gibbs's, and some to the infirmary.